Episode 77. We're live. Yeah. Welcome to FightersRep Podcast, episode 77. I'm your host, the Fighters Rep, here with the king of Miami, baby. Ignorant behavior. It's been a while, man, that we've had you on the show. You've been missing, and the good people out there are going to want to know what you've been up to. But before we do that, let's just let them know today we're going to be talking about a big ask from Bud Crawford. He feels like he's got the leverage now, Gary. He feels like he could ask for that big turkey stuffing money with all the gravy. And, that's what he's going for. But look, what have you been up to, man? We haven't seen you in a while. I want to get this going with you every week on the channel again. I mean, I'm going to be going live every Monday on the channel. But, obviously, having you to bounce ideas off of is always better. What are you up to, man?
Man, not much, man. You know me, I was doing youth sports, so that took a lot of my time. I mean, we had off the camera conversations and everything. That's how the while that is. I'm done with that now, though.
Yeah. I think
we're gonna try to focus in and lock in on this.
For sure. I think that's the real cool thing about our channel, Gary, is the experience. Me as a promoter, you as a football coach. I think it adds to the dynamic of what maybe fight fans and sports fans would like to hear about. It adds a cool perspective. So anyway, it's good to have you back, and I hope we keep it going. And this is episode 77, man. So let's get right into it, Gary. Bud Crawford, man, absolutely schooled Canelo in that first fight. I don't remember. Did you call that? Did we call that? I don't even remember if we called that fight. I don't even think we had a chance to predict it.
I know, in my opinion, just going into the fight, I was rooting for Bud.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I was rooting for Bud. That's all I wasn't sure because I didn't know how he's going to take the size. But once after a couple rounds, I was like, okay. The way he looked, I was okay. He's going to be all right in there.
Yeah. And he wasn't, he was, the taller guy, kind of, right? Looked like the taller guy. Obviously,
longer arms.
Longer arms. He's got the speed advantage. I think had the athleticism advantage. Looks strong, look durable, as he always does. What's crazy to me, Gary, this is the same Bud Crawford that got put on his ass against not only Mean Machine, but Gamboa back at like 130, 135 pounds, whatever weight class they were fighting at, right? Gamboa.
I thought I'm like you. I thought Gamboa dropped him from my memory.
Or maybe
Gamboa
he just
wobbled
him.
He
wobbled him, right.
He wobbled him.
The only one that dropped him was Mean Machine. But I guess my point is, it's crazy to me how he's almost maintained and maybe exceeded his durability as he's moved up a ridiculous amount of weight classes. It's crazy.
Well, even with Mean Machine, I don't never really think that Mean Machine hurt him.
No.
And it's officially is not a knockdown. Unofficially, we kind of feel like, it was a hit that caught you maybe off balance a little bit when you were trying to grab or whatever and knocked you down, which is a flash knockdown. So I to be honest with you, the only time I ever seen Bud really hurt was against Gamboa. I haven't seen him hurt against anybody else, like really hurt in trouble or whatever. Nah.
Right. No, I would agree. And so it's interesting to see him continue to grow. And this guy's just fascinating, Gary, so I like to touch all aspects of it with you. But here we go. I did a video not too long ago where I wrote, he did it his way. That I think it's a Frank Sinatra song. I did it
my way.
He did it his way, man. Bud Crawford never sold out, never had to be over the top, never had to be goofy, never had to be a weirdo. Just went out there, went about his business, was just too damn good. That's how he got his fame, just being that much better than everybody. So he beats Canelo Alvarez, I thought, in, convincing fashion. I think the fight was probably closer than what some people are making it out to be. I don't think it was if they think it was like a blowout or anything, I don't think it was that, but he definitely won clearly. And then in a good fight, it was a good fight. I won't say it wasn't a good fight, but he won clearly. And now, obviously Canelo wants to run it back. He's used to being the money man. He's used to having the leverage. Bud Crawford tells Turkey El Sheikh, listen, big dog, listen, big Turk, I want $100 million to run this thing back with Canelo. I want $100 million, Gary. I almost feel like I got to do this when I say $100 million. Like, what's his name from Austin Powers? 100 million. It's like, that's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money.
I mean, I mean, my personal opinion is wasn't a lot of money when you gave it to Canelo, because that's what I thought he got, $100 million for the fight, and Bud got 50. So I'm just saying, like, hey, I won. Now we got to do a reverse if he wants to do the rematch. And I mean, he's the king of the ring now. I mean, he beat the king. I mean, obviously Canelo's been beat before. Only time in this fashion was Mayweather. Obviously, Mayweather retired, and that gave Canelo, hey, you got the throne now. You know what I mean? To be the money man. And Bivol beat him. Bivol beat him, but I don't really think that Bivol gained as much fame as Terence Crawford has done, beating Canelo, coming up 3 weight divisions after smashing Errol Spence. And he beat Canelo more clear than Bivol beat him. So it's kind of like almost, I think he earned it. Like you said, through most of his career, he hasn't really made the money that he should have.
Do you think he beat Canelo better than Bivol did? I mean, I thought it was about the same. I thought it was about the same. I thought Bivol was a pretty clear win too, to be honest.
No, I thought it was a clear win, but I just think Terence Crawford did it even more cleaner. Because I don't think Canelo ever hit him with a good, and Canelo said it after the fight. He couldn't hit Bud.
Yeah.
He hit the ball sometimes.
I think it's just more impressive with Crawford, right? Because, he was so much smaller, allegedly, coming up all those weight classes, versus Bivol's actually a small, light heavyweight, that could probably come down to super middle, but he's a light heavyweight. And Canelo was actually moving up to fight him. So that took some of the sting off that loss. You didn't take any of the sting off this one. Crawford made you feel every last little bit of this loss. And him asking for $100 million, man. I mean, this is kind of a gangster move, Gary. But is it deserved? I mean, you're saying they gave him 50 last time. They gave Canelo 100. Why not just flip it around, right? But at the end of the day, look, here's my thing. I agree. Canelo's the better. Crawford's the better fighter, right?
Yeah.
Crawford's the better fighter. But the money man is still Canelo in this situation, right? He's still the guy that's going to bring more eyes than Terence Crawford. At least that's what we think, right? I mean, I think it's pretty clear, to be honest. He's got the Mexican fan base behind him. He's got fans all over the world. Terence Crawford is more of like the hardcore fight fans guy. You know what I mean?
And see, this is why I think this is where the misconception comes in, is that he's just a hardcore fans fight guy. He used to be. He used to be. He used to be. After dismantling Errol Spence and then beating up Canelo, he's gained more and more fans. Even after even after he beat Errol Spence, his name got, all of a sudden I start seeing him on the Breakfast Club. He was never on there. He was on this and that and this and that. So I start seeing him on all these different podcasts, $1 million worth of game, and all of a sudden, like, everybody's calling him the baddest man out. They weren't saying that before the Errol Spence fight.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the hardcore people knew about him, but most people didn't. Then you go up, Canelo. This is how you gain your fame. This is how Mayweather gained his fame. He fought De La Hoya. Before De La Hoya, he had fame, but he didn't have that level of fame. And when he fought De La Hoya, De La Hoya got the bigger paycheck. And part of the reason why it wasn't a rematch, because De La Hoya won a rematch and Floyd went into retirement and came back out. A lot of people say, oh, he ducked. No, Floyd wanted the power now. He wanted to be the A side. And De La Hoya was kind of on what you're saying is, hey, man, I'm the A side. I bring in these fans. Right. You know what I mean? And so then Mayweather was like, well, you don't get your rematch then. And he went on to now start making stupid money. His first record-breaking gate was against De La Hoya. Right, then after that, it just started coming back to back after that. Right. So for me, even though Mayweather was younger than Terrence Crawford is,
that's a big deal. That's a big deal in the analysis.
But he's trying to cash out, bro. That's the reason why I don't blame him. I blame him even less because, hey, man, I'm on my way out. I need to get that all the money that I missed out on all those other years. I need to make that up right now. I took a risk and went up 3 classes and fought this guy. He had every advantage to his, it was all Canelo's rules. Now it's like, nah, man, you want to fight me? And yes, Canelo can bring in more fans than him, but he won't bring in this kind of money or this kind of ticket sales and fans unless you have a partner that you can match with, like Bud Crawford. If you don't have that dancing partner, where you gonna go fight Benavidez? I don't think you want to do that. That'll be another fight that can bring in that Benavidez, or if I don't even know if you fight Bivol, it brings in what this brings in. Benavidez for sure.
Benavidez, that's a big fight.
That's a huge fight. That's a gigantic fight, And for Terrence, he doesn't really have anybody, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. To really, unless he plan on going back to 160, which he said he's not, and that would probably be hard right now to go back down. Not 160, I mean to 154. He can go to 160, but 154 would be kind of hard right now because that's where all the competitive fights are. I don't really see what you getting at 160, except for maybe Jermell Charlo or something like that.
He could unify down there too. I mean, he could probably go down
but
there.
But he won't make as much money.
Yeah.
He won't make as much money.
I'm with you, Gary. I don't think it's a good idea for him to go back down after he went up to 168 and unified and beat Canelo. That's where the bigger money is, right? Going after Canelo again. Yeah, I do think that's where the bigger money is, and I like your analysis, Gary. You're thinking, and that big old head is working because. And I
Let me back up so my head looks smaller.
And I know I'm not talking with this melon on my neck, but I like the way your analysis is going with this because Mayweather was young, man, and he did have time to go and create that persona and make all that money. Crawford, like you said, is at the end of his career. That's the difference, or might be close to the end. I mean, he's got to be 38 years old now.
I think he's turning 38 now.
Yeah. So definitely at the end, trying to cash out. I don't know. Do you think Turkey will give him this money? I mean, $100 million is a lot of money, dude. And here's my other question, Gary. I mean, we've talked about this before. Is there any ROI? I mean, is there any return on this investment to spend 150 or 200 million on Canelo versus Crawford? Do you think it's doing enough numbers or selling enough tickets for that?
You know what? I haven't even looked at the numbers. I haven't looked at any of it. So, I mean, I would say Turkey knows what happened with the first one. So if the first one was like, you didn't get no return on your investment, you didn't make anything off of it, I think he may think twice about shelling out that much. Because I was at 150 just on the main card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And you're not even talking about the undercards or anything like that. And so I mean, he's been shelling out a lot though. Because I mean, how much did he? I mean, obviously he's not shelling out that much on that last Benavidez card, but it was a lot of big names on that card. You had Devin Haney
card too. I'm not gonna lie, that was a great card.
In theory, it was.
Yeah, you didn't like that card?
I mean, I liked it at first, so I seen the fights.
You didn't like the fights on that card?
It was all one-sided except for Abdullah Mason. Yeah, the Abdullah Mason was the best fight of the night. Every other fight was a one-sided fight that got, I mean, I can't blame the fighters that won. They did
Right.
what they're supposed to do. But I mean, I thought Brian Norman and Haney would be more competitive. I was looking forward to that being a competitive fight. That totally wasn't.
Yeah.
Bam. I didn't know the guy Bam was fighting, but I pretty much figured he was going to beat him, and he washed him, knocked him out.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even competitive. It wasn't close. And then you had who was it? You had Dula.
Abdullah, yeah. Or let's be correct here.
Adola.
Oh shit, sugar time. We got sugar on the camera. It's been a while. Abdullah. Let's be correct. Because
Yeah.
I don't, when I hear Abdullah, I start thinking about like that bad guy from the back in the wrestling days. And it's not
Yeah.
pronounced Abdullah. That's a goofy pronunciation. It's Abdullah. So shout out Abdullah Mason, who really made me. I mean, I was already
Everybody,
a fan.
hey George, everybody don't know 3 languages like you, okay?
Hey,
I know one, and I ain't that good at that one.
hey, step that shit up, Mother Flowers. But I think I became a big fan of Mason after that last event. But anyway, kind of back to what we're talking about, man. $100 million is a lot for one guy. I don't think Canelo would accept any less than Crawford. I mean, I would be surprised if Canelo accepted less money than Crawford. If they're going to give Crawford $100 million, I think Canelo would want 100 to 1. But who knows? Maybe he wants his revenge so bad he'd be willing to take a little bit of a pay cut. I just don't see it.
Honestly, I don't see him taking.
Yeah.
I don't just because of the ego involved and still feeling like you've been the man all the time. You call the shots all this time.
Yeah.
Even after you lost to Bivol, you called the shots.
Yeah.
Especially after Mayweather and Mayweather retired, you called all the shots on all of your fights. So now all of a sudden, I think it's going to be similar to the. Well, I don't think. Well, I mean, Terrence Crawford, I did see he threatened to retire. So I mean, I don't. So it could be a Mayweather De La Hoya situation going on right now. You know what I mean? I'll retire, bitch.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, who do you? Let's say they get the fight made, right?
Yeah.
Before we get into that, first and foremost, subscribe to the channel, join the channel. Welcome to Fighters Rep. We appreciate you guys being here. If you like what you see, we do this every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We go live. We also go live after all the big fights, and we drop almost daily content. Gary, first and foremost, $100 million is a lot. Do you think Crawford is pricing himself out? Some people are going to ask that question. So I don't believe so, but some people will ask, is Crawford pricing himself out? Because it was a tough fight, right? There is a possibility that he loses, although I personally think he'll win again. But do you think Crawford is pricing himself out? And then who do you think wins in a rematch between him and Canelo?
Nah, I mean, it's all this stuff is part of negotiations. You shoot for the stars, 100 million.
Yeah.
You know that he's willing to pay 100 million because he's paid Canelo 100 million. So it's kind of like
I beat him, right? I beat him. Pay me more,
It's kind of like, and I don't think every guy can do that who says they beat Canelo, just says, give me a bunch of money. Like, I don't think Bivol could have said that at the time Bivol beat him. I don't think he could have said that because I still feel, his name, especially in the States, wasn't. Because when I remember telling some of my friends that are casual fans, who is he fighting? Bivol. Who is that? They don't know who Bivol is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I still feel like Terrence Crawford, he has gained that momentum and everything. And so why not go for it? You're about to retire. You're getting old, so you shoot for it. And if they turn it down, they're going to have a counter offer.
Yeah.
Or at least they should, unless Turkey just says bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And just, I'll go do something else, which I don't think he would do. But, you go in there and negotiate. Let's say you don't get 100, but he goes, look, I'll give you 75. That's more than last time.
Yeah. I'll take 75 to fight Canelo. So if they don't want to give it to Crawford, if he doesn't want it, send it my way right here. I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you asked me who who I think would win. I think Crawford
Yeah,
will win
sorry.
because after seeing him in the ring, after seeing
Compound
him,
compound question is what we would object to in court. But yeah, it's a two-part question.
put on your lawyer hat. But no, who I think will win? I think Crawford would win again. I just after seeing him in the ring, seeing the hand speed difference, it was a big difference. Seeing seeing how much his reach was a factor, and seeing how much his foot speed was the factor.
Yeah.
And then even seeing him like actually standing in the pocket, not gaining that confidence in the back half of the fight to say, yo, I'm gonna stand here. I can stand here with him and doing it and not getting hit. I don't think Canelo has nothing for it.
Yeah. The feet were better. The hands were faster. He was super durable. I mean, the thing is, if he was chinny, maybe, right? If he was chinny, and I'm sure Canelo could land a punch on just about anyone and get them out of there. But Crawford's a tough guy, man, and he's got like mental toughness too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I don't think he's really got that dog in him, like they say, and I don't think
yeah.
he's gonna let just anyone. I mean, I feel like you're gonna have to go up a couple more weight classes to hurt this guy. You know what I mean? And he's just built different. So I agree with you, man. I think Canelo wins the fight if they run it back. And I think, the return on the investment, the ROI, I think that's what's going to dictate what happens going forward, because I think I've mentioned this too, Gary, in here with you before, man. How much money are they going to burn before they make a return? I mean, I would just imagine, I could be wrong, right? But having promoted fights, obviously not on that level, but having promoted fights and pro fights, you got to make a return at some point. You know what I mean? You can't just keep burning money in investment, although maybe the Saudis don't mind too much. I don't know. But I mean, you would hope if you're running a business, right? The point of running the business is to generate revenue as well, to keep the business going and growing. And so I'm just wondering, how is it that they can continue to do this without at some point saying, you know what, it's just not working out for us. That's what I'm waiting for that to happen. Do you think that happens within our lifetime?
Oh, definitely within our lifetime.
Yeah.
Within our lifetime. But I don't find it as crazy as you do. At first I did. Because at first, I remember we had the conversation. I was like, at some point, you're gonna want to make money off of it. You know what I mean? But then I thought about it. These guys are billionaires. And these type of things are toys for them.
Yeah.
So, and you say, well, billionaires still want to make money. Well, it's NBA owners that don't make money.
Yeah.
They go on the luxury tax. They don't really make the type of money that the other franchises in the NBA are making, because they have to pay so much.
Yeah.
So they make more money off of their other stuff, but it's still like, hey, this is something fun for me to do, something, whatever
crazy,
that.
That's crazy.
And that's how much money they have. That this is just something that interests me. It's fun for me. It's like the dude from the Clippers. He's already like, he doesn't need any more money. He has like 70-something billion. When he brought it, he was worth like 70-something $billion. This is just a play toy for him.
What I get to thinking about, Gary, is obviously as someone who formerly promoted and kind of getting a simple understanding of the tax code. And by the way, shout out to Don Madrazos D9D. He says, as long as Turkey funds it, it's okay. That's kind of the question, Don Madrazos. I mean, until when, right? Will he keep going? Part of me feels like, Gary, and I could be wrong about this, I wish I had a better understanding of the economy in the Gulf Arab countries and the way the tax code works in a place like Saudi Arabia is, here in the United States, if you are a business and you spend money on advertising, right, then you get to write that off. And there is a limit, but I'm sure there's wiggle room for these much larger companies in how much they get to write off, right, on advertisement, on sponsorship, on whatever it is. And just a part of me wonders if in Saudi Arabia, I mean, I'm sure they have something that's the equivalent of that. Maybe these companies are like really being incentivized, right? Companies that maybe are dealing with the entertainment aspect of the government, which is where Turkey El Sheikh is coming from. Maybe they're being incentivized to spend this money. Maybe they're getting like huge tax breaks or something. Maybe it's related to the oil, they're selling oil to the world. So maybe it's related to some of those companies,
Mhm.
why these pockets are so deep. I would love to know a bit more, but I think unfortunately I'll never be
Well,
able to find out unless they want to sit down with me and discuss it, Gary. We can discuss it.
hey, or maybe you just have to go the French Montana route.
You're right. You're right.
You
Well,
heard,
I'm
French.
I'm already taken, so I can't marry a
Oh
princess.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you got to talk to Bella. Yeah, he's a concubine. Hey,
Yes, you'll kill
you
me,
got to
man.
talk
You'll
to her.
kill me.
Say, look,
Uh,
man. Hey, babe.
I won't go. That won't go over well. That'll go over about as well as it would with you and May, brother.
Hey, for
Uh,
the right price, I don't know. I could probably convince. Hey, hey, it's the right price.
but
I
it's
don't know.
it's
You got to work no more.
but it is curious to me. At one point, I mean, at some point, will they say, abort mission? This is not going the way we think it's going, or will they keep, building the sport of boxing? Where I do think it's helpful for them, Gary, is it's bringing a lot of tourists to the country that
Hmm.
otherwise wouldn't go. And I saw on the undercard a couple of guys from Saudi Arabia that looked like they had some potential, a couple guys that they're building up that look like they have some potential. So, to me, I could see how, using it not only as a tax write off and for sponsorships and things like that, but also to build the economy and to maybe build some stars might at some point make it worth it for them. You know what I mean?
I think this is just my opinion from afar, and I could be wrong, but I think like Turkey, I think this is just a passion of his, a
Yeah.
huge passion of his. And I think he got his other buddies to invest more so on a bigger plan.
Yeah.
Like how you're saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look, it's gonna bring tourism over here. Hey, it's gonna do this because he got didn't they don't they have like a whole board that's investing in this and stuff? I like a whole bunch of people investing in this. So I think it's literally a passion for him. For him, it's cool. But I think to your point is like, hey, I ain't trying to spend all my own money. Let's see if I can get some of the buddies to join in. I know I got a lot of it, but let's see if I can get some other people and we can all do this together and maybe do something bigger.
And Don Madrazos brings up a great point. They're buying Paramount, right? Which is the network that the UFC is going to be on. And Dana
Yeah.
White's getting into boxing. So
Hmm.
they might just be monopolizing, which, I'm not sure that's even illegal over there. They might be just monopolizing the entire fight game, Gary. Plus, they're building that 100-mile long city. He's talking about Neom, I believe it's called Neom. Saudi Arabia is building this crazy futuristic tourist business hub of a city, Gary, that's supposed to like probably compete and become even bigger and larger than Dubai. So yeah, I mean, they're not dumb. They're not dumb. There's no way they could be making,
Yeah.
dropping all this money for no reason. And I look forward, I guess, to seeing what's the end game. What's the end game for this?
I mean, he said to buy Paramount, so that might be the end game. Look, show to have things to put on there to release and
Yeah.
just whatever, I mean, but I mean, like I said, it's hard to figure out what somebody with that much money thinks like.
Yeah, yeah. They just want
I
more
don't know
money.
anybody with that much money.
I think they just want more money and they're finding a way to just make more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be it. Like you say, you never know. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how much more money you need, but they always said, I'm serious. Like they always say, the rich just want more rich. No matter how rich they are, they just want more
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
I don't get it. After a while, I would want to just relax, but
yeah. Well, it's more money.
I'm not a billionaire, so maybe that's why
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, well, it's more money, more problems, Gary. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, join the channel. Welcome to the Fighters Rep. We greatly appreciate your presence here. And any super chat you drop or any merchandise you buy in the link below, like this lovely Fighters Rep sweater. It is wintertime, so get you a Fighters Rep sweater. The money just gets reinvested right back into building the brand. I wanted to talk to you, Gary. The next part of this thing, I kind of wanted to go on to that last card. You know, you mentioned Benavidez, you mentioned Norman, you mentioned Haney. Kind of wanted to get your thoughts. You said you felt like the fights were one-sided, other than the Abdullah Mason fight, which was a great fight. We discussed Norman and Haney a little bit off camera, after it happened. And, I'd like your thoughts on it. You've had some more time to marinate on it. I want to give you my thoughts about it, because I thought it was very strange, a very odd situation. And me and you like Devin Haney. We've been Devin Haney fans, and we've been kind of backing Devin Haney through the whole weirdness with Ryan Garcia and stuff like that. We thought what happened to him wasn't fair, and that he kind of bore the brunt of the ugly stigma that came from that when he shouldn't have. But I'll turn it over to you with this. I don't know how much longer I can keep backing this guy when he hurts a guy like he did there again, right? He did that to Regis, and now he did it with Norman. And I like him, and I think he's talented, right? Obnoxious as hell outside of the ring, but it's kind of in a funny way to me. But how much longer are we going to back this guy when he's just not willing to show us the killer instinct, man? We want to see a little killer instinct, Gary. He's giving the haters ammunition.
I mean, my thoughts on it. I was disappointed, as you know, because I thought Brian Norman would fight a better fight than what he fought.
Yeah.
And he just didn't look like he had a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. And it looked like everything that people said was the problem with him. Slower feet than Devin Haney, not good footwork, smother his punches against the ropes. He showed all of that bad jab defense. He was getting hit by the jab at will whenever Devin Haney wanted to hit him with the jab. And it was just like all these things we said and you knew and you heard and you said, well, I'm going to show you and this and he had a great talk game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like you just kept doing the same things against the ropes. And anybody who saw Devin Haney, anybody who saw Devin Haney fight knows.
That's what said Brian Norman Jr. shit the bed.
Exactly. So everybody knows once he's against the rope and he's looking to grab onto you to get reset and bring it back to the middle of the ring. He's looking to get off the ropes. He's going to grab you every time. Every Devin Haney fight I see, he gets a 1 or 2 in and he's grabbing or he's moving. He ain't, so that was happening. And when he got against the ropes, all he did all night was lunge in with the overhand right, a hook or something. And Devin Haney was just sitting there waiting on it. It was like he knows it's coming. Yeah. As soon as you do it, I'm gonna dodge. I'm gonna dodge it, and I'm gonna go ahead and slip it, and I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna get into your chest, grab you. Referee, break it up. You don't get a chance to pound on me on the ropes and beat up on me like these other fighters who aren't great fighters. You know what I mean? You're not gonna pound on me on the ropes. So that was my first part of it. Now back to the Devin Haney part of it, like you talked about, is.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, right? I'm glad you mentioned that because no, I'm serious. I'm glad you mentioned that, right? Because we're not here to just like outright talk crap and hate on people. I mean, we think Devin Haney is a talented guy, right?
Yeah.
And we did think this fight was going to be competitive. But I agreed with you 1,000%, Gary. I don't know what Norman was thinking, doing the same thing over and over and over again in the fight, just blitzing Devin Haney and getting wrapped up. And as the fight went on, he was getting wrapped up sooner and sooner. And so just getting stifled. So I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, and it drove me crazy. And I agree with you. But go on, Devin Haney.
Now I will say something about this also. That knockdown that Devin Haney put on Norman also, I think it also affected how he came in with, because he even said at the fight, I mean, he was stronger than what we thought.
Yeah.
And so I thought he thought that he was going to be able to walk through some of those punches. He had to take another thought about it, like, hey, I just got off the ground.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be able to just walk through them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that or whatever. And so I think that also made a part in it too. He was a little hesitant, a little bit more gunshot. Now when it comes to Devin Haney, I've said this since the Regis fight, and I was the one that said when it was T.O., Tank, Orion, and him, I said he's the best. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
And I just noticed
Gary, I just want to, before you continue, I'm so sick and tired of us being right about everything all the time. But go ahead, continue.
But I was saying he's the best. And then when I remember he got hit by Linares, I still was like, that's one hit. He got caught with a shot. He wobbled. He got caught with a shot. But then after that, I kept watching fight after fight, and I didn't. And even Lomachenko, when he got hit, I didn't like the way he reacted to getting hit. And you're gonna get hit in boxing or whatever. Yeah. You're gonna get hit, but it's a difference. I see Terrence Crawford get hit. It don't seem like it does anything to move him. You know what I mean?
He's not even interested. He's not even interested.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to just compare him to Terrence Crawford, but I can go to Boots. I can go to
Canelo.
I mean, Errol Spence and Sean Porter. They take hits. I've seen a lot of people. I seen Keith Thurman get knocked down by Manny Pacquiao and get back in there and rumble.
Right.
And say, I'm gonna go get it back in blood. And it's just, when I see him get hit, it's almost like he's like getting the hell out of Dodge. Get back to my game plan. Let's go throw this jab out. Let's throw this jab out, and let's get back to being safe. And it's just like I seen that, but I still was like Devin Haney. And then when the Regis fight happened, I remember we came on here and we had an argument. You were like, man, he worked him. And at first, initial thoughts, I was like that. He washed him. That was a boring fight, but he washed him. And then my cousin, he was a professional boxer. So I started talking to him, and he starts saying how, he's not trying to take anybody out.
Yeah.
He doesn't have this killer. And at first, me and my cousin argued, and I looked at it again, I watched it, and I was like, yeah, because I said before, I don't like how he take hits. And then I said, he doesn't want to get hit. He does not want to. He could have finished Regis. He could have made Regis stop on a stool. I don't know if knocking him out, but made him stop on a stool, at least beat the hell out of him. One thing one of the things I like about Boots is, and Terrence Crawford also, the killers. They get you hurt, they got to get you up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Even Tank, he gets you hurt, he's stalking you. I'm not giving you a second chance at me. And that's the only part of it that Devin Haney's game that I dislike, is because besides the fact that us fans want to see a knockout, we also, you're also leaving yourself open to, hey, a wild punch. Hey, Lennox Lewis is beating Rockman, and what happened?
Hasim Rahman. Yeah.
Hasim Rockman. What happened? Got caught with a shot. You lost.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. It's one shot and you're out of there. So when you have a chance to take somebody out, when you get to these elite fighters, which only elite fighter I thought he fought was Lomachenko, who was a smaller guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He fought good fighters now. Don't get me wrong. He fought good fighters, but elite, the top upper echelon, where you want to go, where you say you want to be and you want to fight these fighters, when you fight them, you're going to have to take them out when you get a chance, because you ain't going to get too many chances.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more, man. I was at first, obviously, I think the knockdown happened in the second round, Gary, and I said, oh, man, this guy's looking like he did against Regis. I was a little bit hyped up because in my prediction video, I said I felt like he was going to win. I felt like he was going to beat Norman. You agreed. I think you also told me off camera you thought he was going to beat Norman. Me and you always go for the guy that we think is more technical unless like the intangibles are crazy on the other side. But
yeah,
we thought, I thought it was going to be Norman. You thought it was going to be Norman. I said in my prediction, if it's the same, but it's got to be the same Haney that shows up that beat Regis Prograis, man. That's who we want to see. You know what I mean? That's the guy that will easily beat, I think, Brian Norman. I mean, handily, easily, whatever it is. But I did think Norman would put up much more of a fight as well.
mm-hmm.
That being said, I am very disappointed, I will say, in both guys because, Norman, down south, like Georgia boy, you want to see the guys do well, us Florida guys, we'll cheer them on too. I wanted to see him do well. I wanted to see, a new star. Sometimes you want to see a new star rise and do well and he's a champion and you wanted to see how he would react to fighting a top tier guy like Devin Haney. And he just looked out of his league, man. I'm just being honest. He just looked out of his league, and he got hurt by a guy in Haney that, again, doesn't really hurt people that often. And just the repetitive attack, it was so repetitive and predictable. And I don't want to minimize the guy because I'm not a fighter. We're not fighters. And we don't know what it's like to have been in there on the professional level. But my goodness, at some point, it's a sport, right? And there has to be a change in the game plan at some point. And it just drove me crazy. I just couldn't understand it. And then Devin Haney, man, looking like a killer in the first couple rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, Gary just dropped the guy and decided that's it. I won this fight. Let me just coast. Let me just coast and win by points. I mean, I think that's the mentality, right? And the only layer he's missing, Gary, the only layer he's missing is what you mentioned. Terrence Bud Crawford, Boots Ennis, Anthony Joshua, I think I mentioned to you. These guys who, when they get you hurt, they're trying to get you the hell out of there. They don't want you to stay around, And Tank Davis, you know what I mean? He's missing that layer. And at this point, right, 27, 28 years old, whatever he is.
Never going to get it.
That's what bothers me. That's what's bothering me. I was holding out hope. I said, okay, he went out there. He smoked Regis, who I'm a big fan of Regis. I really do like Regis a lot. He beat Regis. He looked great. I thought he should have finished Regis. Then he went out there, got dropped by Ryan Garcia. And I don't give Ryan Garcia I'm sorry. I don't give him credit for that win. I just don't do it. If you've got PEDs in your system, I just don't, whether it's on purpose or not, whatever excuse you come up with, I don't give that person credit. Mm-hmm. He left that fight. He looked terrible against Jose Ramirez, Gary. He looked terrible.
I won't say terrible.
Oh, he was terrible, Gary. He was.
He won every round. I can't call something.
But he ran around. I mean, he wasn't fighting. He wasn't.
Fighting. The fight was terrible. That was terrible entertainment. But to win every round you won, you did what you had to do.
Yeah, but Gary,
terrible would be getting hit, getting kind of like in a dog fight with somebody you shouldn't be.
But that was like an amateur fight. Like he was just scoring points and moving. Nobody wants to watch that, Gary. They want to watch. Listen, you said it yourself. You can't let guys hang around. You can't let them hang around. Someone's gonna catch you at some point. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna catch you at some point.
Well, I think we're talking about two different things now. The fight in itself was terrible. Now, was he terrible at doing what his game plan was and doing it? No, he was excellent at it.
He was.
And it's up to and we got to hold the other fighters accountable too.
Right, Gary, but that's like saying that guy over there is really good at shitting the bed. I mean, that guy shits the bed like nobody's ever shit the bed before. Yeah, I mean, he did what he set out to do. He's great at it, but I don't think people want to see that. And
that's what I'm saying. Do people want to see that? I totally agree with you. No.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you on that. Is it going to benefit him if he's in there with a tough guy that carries his power to the end of the fight, and he lets him stick around? He might get caught like he almost did in the Linares fight in the 12th round.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's I mean, I don't want to bash on him like that because
Yeah, yeah.
it's the thing. It's not easy to do what he did either and beat Ramirez. Like you can run around the ring like Karen did against Boots and lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Run around the ring doesn't run around the ring doesn't guarantee you to fight.
Right.
Karen
Right.
did that and he lost every single round. He was doing it and winning and getting the points that he needed, and the guy couldn't do it. So he's still a elite
My
fighter,
yeah.
but he's
My
a
point is
boring elite fighter. He's a
yeah.
boring elite fighter.
My point is it was kind of what happened with Anthony Joshua after he got knocked out in the first
Yeah,
Andy Ruiz fight. He wasn't the same guy. He was
he
just
beat him. He
yeah.
beat him the second time.
I know he beat him, but he wasn't fighting to his potential. He wasn't fighting the way he normally fights. He had to change his style. And I'm not saying change is bad, but if you're super timid, it could end up being bad. I liked in the first round and the second round how Haney came out and he was aggressive and he dropped Norman. And I thought, okay, maybe he'll stick with this and I'll get to see him, show that killer instinct finally, but it didn't happen. And I don't think it's ever going to happen at this point. If it doesn't, listen, I'm going to give him one more chance, Gary. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit about me giving him a chance, but I'm going to give him one more chance, Gary. If I see him hurt somebody, drop somebody, and let them go 12 rounds again, I'm going to be really annoyed with Devin Haney, Gary.
Well, see, here's the thing is, I thought, you gotta look at the track record. Kambosa, did he knock Kambosa out, or did he does what he do? Jab, slip, turn you, grab you. He turns him, grab him.
But that wasn't the Jose Ramirez fight. The Jose Ramirez.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying though that because he threw his hands a lot more in that fight against Kambosa than he did in these last two fights. Period. So I get it. Like he threw it, he threw it, but it was still the same thing, same game plan. He wasn't trying to get Kambosa out of there, which I feel like Kambosa wasn't in your league. You need to get that guy out of there because that's what when Lomachenko fought him, beat the shit out of him. A lot of people, Hitchens beat the crap out of the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like that's what he wants to do. A lot of these fighters grew up on Floyd, but the older Floyd, not the younger Floyd.
Yeah.
And they think, hey, that's the way to fight all the time. But Floyd did that out of necessity also.
Yeah.
Because of his hands and because of, he was getting older. On the back end, you get older. Michael Jordan went to the fadeaway. He stopped dunking all the time. Right, he still dunked. When he still dunked, but he wasn't gonna dunk all the time. So that was the back end. And early on in his career, and he went up to a weight class, which a lot of times weight-wise, he was a smaller guy. Because of the fact of the matter is Floyd walks around at like 155, 150. So he don't be losing weight. These guys coming up 20 pounds and losing weight to come fight Floyd and then blowing back up. So that was another thing about it. Like Devin Haney, you were bigger than all those guys at 135. And it's showing that you didn't belong there. 135, 140, and now you're at 147, and you're muscling around the 147s. Right. So there's no reason why at 135 you shouldn't have been getting rid of these guys, even at 140, getting rid of these guys. And so but like I said, he's winning. You do what you got to do to win, and I'll tell people like I told with Shakur, the right matchup will make him fight. We saw that with Shakur and Zepeda.
Yeah.
You got to get the right guy to go in there. You get a guy with non-relentless pressure like Zepeda, you're going to force Shakur to fight, and he's capable of doing it.
Right.
You got to force him to do
it. And Haney's got good feet, man. Haney's got good feet. You know what you were going in there against. Cut him off and go after him. You know what I mean? Cut him off, go after him, and do something different. Don't just over and over again blitz him with the same combination. That shit he could see it coming from a mile away by the time, the second, third round.
And my thing is, you didn't jab your way in. You had him against the ropes. You didn't try to jab your way, jab, boom, boom, work. Create some distance between you and him. He's against the ropes. He ain't got much way to go. He ain't got much room to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Try to keep it distant because he wants to grab you.
Yeah.
You know this. And for Haney, this is the other thing that pissed me off about Haney, and they said it during the fight. Like your jab was landing at will. If you don't want to be too risky, you can throw that jab and that 1-2 all day.
Right, and
you
David Benavidez him. Just David Benavidez him. Just death by 1,000 punches. You know what I mean?
But see, he's not going to do that because he's afraid of what's coming back.
Right.
So he's never going to do that. Benavidez is afraid of what's coming back, but like with
Benavidez don't give a shit.
And the thing is that Haney does care about what's coming back.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, you can do your normal thing, 1-2 him to death, but you can just turn it up a notch.
Yeah.
When you hitting them every now and then, bah, you could have just bah. Yeah. You seen Floyd with, I'll give you perfect joint. Floyd with Sugar Shane and Floyd with Zab Judah. Early rounds, they had success. And then he started tapping them a little bit. Once he started tapping them, I mean, it was just like he was just beating the he wasn't knocking them out, but he was beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And to the fact that Zab Judah tried to fight for real. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And he was nasty with it too. Floyd, and that's the thing. When Floyd beat Zab like that, he was nasty with it. He was grabbing Zab. Yeah, come on, let's go. When he fought Chop Curly and he dropped him and he picked him up, like, get up. Nah, I got some more for you. Get back up.
Who was it? Was it him? They said, quit crying, like fight.
Yeah.
Crying,
but see, like Devin Haney he don't got that. And I mean, he can still go off and end up being undefeated forever. I think it's good fights out there for him once he goes up against other elite fighters. I feel like they'll make him fight. If he went against Tank, I feel like he wasn't going to be able to run around like that all day. And, you know what I'm saying? Because Tank is a better fighter than that. I think when he was at a smaller weight, him and Shakur, I mean, that would have been the boringest fight in the world. But and I'm a huge Shakur fan. But if neither one of you guys are gonna go in, I mean, that's a terrible fight. That'd is a terrible fight.
That'd be like the first fight where like they don't break double digits in combined punches thrown.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. So, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, all we got. Is there a parting shot you want to take before you head out, Gary? I've kept you on for almost an hour here, so we got.
No man, it's good to be back talking about these fights because this times I've watched them like, where's Georgia?
Yeah. No, you're informed, man. It's like you haven't missed a beat, man. So, ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, join the channel, subscribe to the channel. Help us continue to grow. We'll greatly appreciate it. Like the video. Leave your comments. Let us know. We'll address your comments in the comment section. And we're going to do this every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Again, I also drop content almost daily. And we're going to go live after all the big boxing fights. We'll see you guys next week on the Fighters Rep podcast. And probably prior to that on the channel. Gary, anything you want to say?
Nah, I'm good, man. Have a good day, man.
Appreciate you, man.
A night, I guess.